So I am recording this episode for you in advance, full disclosure, because we are on our annual holiday break. And I hope when you're listening to this that you are getting a break too, because if I have learned one really important thing, well, technically I didn't learn it in 2020, but it's really been driven home in 2020, it is that breaks matter. We are about to be on break with this podcast. This is our 50th episode, and we're going to take a few weeks off to reflect, to prepare for the new season, and to do some exciting New Year stuff with the team. So we're going to be off after this week until February 11th. And I am really excited for this break because these spaces to breathe matter so much. And I didn't realize that often in the past. And I feel like if 2020 was anything, it was a year of really driving that lesson home so that I remember it, hopefully at least most of the time, if not always, going forward. What else did we learn this year? Well, we learned that it only takes one episode, one blog, one client, one meeting to change the trajectory of a project. I suppose that could be both positive and negative, but this year it's been really positive. We had one episode of the podcast, one that I didn't expect back in October, that really gained some traction around meta descriptions. And ever since then, our download rates have really been amazing and more than I expected, given the amount of promotion that we do for these. And it's made me really excited to get deeper into the world of promoting my podcast in 2021. So I'm excited to talk to y'all more about that. But I do want to let you know, if you've listened to all 50 or a handful or even just one of these episodes and you love them, it really tremendously helps us if you rate and review us on Apple Podcasts or wherever you're getting your podcasts. And if you're watching this for the captioning on YouTube, if you can hit the like button or leave a comment or share or add us to a list, that all helps us get exposure to more people, which helps us to spread the message of doing better digital and hopefully making a kinder, more liberated world. I'm so excited for this work, y'all. It's like everything that I love about digital marketing and everything I love about politics and everything I love about justice and everything I love about making communities stronger is like all coming together in this really pretty like 6-course meal or something for 2021. I don't know. I'm thinking about our annual New Year's Eve meal right now, I guess. It's delicious. I am so enjoying how things are coming together. And I just want to tell you all a huge thank you for being a part of it and helping to make sure it happens. And one of the things that I learned this year based on a mistake was how important it is to do research about the things that we are stating, right? And to vet our guests. I have thankfully not had any guests that I feel like I have to go back and like delete their episodes yet, but I have had a couple of instances where I didn't do enough research before I said something based on my own assumptions or my own limited knowledge. For example, way back at the very beginning of season 1, I recorded an episode where I compared Chumbawamba to Barbra Streisand. And for me here in the US, all I knew of Chumbawamba was like them as a one-hit wonder. Well, some people who went back and listened to those episodes schooled me, and I went and confirmed it, on that this was a band that was actually around for like 30 years and kind of a cult classic type band. And that was just me making a mistake because I assumed that my knowledge was complete without doing any research on this topic. That's a small, slightly embarrassing, but not huge deal error. But if we don't do our research, it was a great reminder for me that if we don't do our research, we can really get ourselves in trouble. So do your research. And on that note, vet your guests. This year, I've worked with a lot of people who have podcasts that are much older than mine, several hundred episodes deep, some of them. And we've spent a lot of time cleaning up people that they wish they wouldn't have had on their show or are wildly problematic or things like that. So it's really important, if you are telling your audience that they can trust that you are only having people into your space that are safe for them, that you vet your guests and make sure that is true. And if you're not saying that, if your guests are just people that you're randomly throwing against the wall, I might ask, why? Enough said there. Next thing I learned this year that I'm super proud of is make accessibility a priority. We did not think this through well enough when we started our podcast, as many people don't, right? And I was embarrassed when Jennifer Brown schooled me on this, but more important than my embarrassment was the knowledge that I had not done a good enough job to make my content accessible to people of varying abilities and varying life situations. And it's so important for me to do that because I believe in accessibility and equity, and you can't do those things if you're not paying attention to how you create your own content. So we are by no means perfect, but we are working to get better and better every day, including over the last, I think all of season 4. Yes, all of season 4, we have custom captioned our episodes and put them on YouTube, which is why you may be watching this with my fuzzy wuzzy sweater, animal print sweater that my family says is a bathrobe, but Calvin Klein and me say is a sweater. So that's why you've seen it in many episodes as the weather has gotten cooler. If you're watching these on YouTube, that's all about accessibility. We're not doing any promotion on YouTube. Right now, we don't really have any intentionality around getting people to watch on YouTube. We're putting it there with captioning so that people who need it have it. And we're working on accessibility in everything that we do, trying to get better and better. And that has been a major lesson of 2020 that I'm really excited to do even better with the new website and into the new year. On that note, we learned a lot this year about how much people love it when we explain the nerdy parts of our business. I think that I said a few minutes ago that one of our best performing episodes so far was on metadata, which is like the least sexy part of digital marketing, but is super important. People have loved it all year long. When we don't treat them like they don't know anything, when we don't treat them like they can't understand complex things, and instead walk them through the nerdy, somewhat complex pieces of our business. So I would encourage you to think about what are the nerdy parts of your work that maybe you gloss over that you could instead explain to your customers. And we've learned a lot this year about how good it can feel to intentionally have slow production and slow growth. We have grown massively this year, I think we're going to shake out the year close to 40% growth, which is fantastic. But we have done that while putting a lot of intentionality towards slowing down the way we produce, not promising things faster than we can do comfortably, and really encouraging people to be more intentional. And that feels so good because most of the time in the second half of this year, I have not felt worn out, wrung out, and over capacity. And I have protected my team from that. And that feels amazing. So I want to say a big thank you, huge thank you to Stephanie Varigan and Christina Salerno, who have walked that path with me for the last year at different times to help us to find our way in this intentional slowing down so that we can have more space and expansiveness. And then in working in my private mastermind, not like a paid one, like my group one that I'm involved in, and in our work with Trudy LeBrun, we've really learned a lot this year about intention versus impact. And really thinking through not our good intentions, but what impact the things that we are creating what impact the things that we are saying, what impact the way that we are showing up in the world is having on both the people around us and the larger world. So I want to say a huge thank you to Trudy LeBrun and Dr. T and others who have helped me to really think that through and articulate it in our work this year. And that is why Do Better Digital has really become a cohesive framework over the course of this year. And that is pretty exciting. And I can't wait for you to see how that's manifesting when the new website launches here in just, oh my goodness, because it's December 31st, like 2 weeks. Yay. Okay. Other thank yous that I need to say this year is to our support team, which has included over the last year at different times and sometimes all at once, Aviance and Keisha and Angela and Megan and Stephanie and Christina S and Christina G, because we have two Christinas and that's sometimes confusing, and Caroline, who produces these podcasts for us. And we are working with a couple of new team members, which at the time I'm recording this, I don't know who they are yet. But by the time it comes out, I'm sure I'm going to need to thank them because we will have a digital strategist and possibly one other position I'm not ready to talk about yet. So thank you to our support team who have done beautiful, incredible work for us and our clients over the course of this year. And I want to say a huge thank you and celebratory moment to my Queen Shit crew, Elizabeth and Trudy, who have really helped move through this year. Y'all, if you don't have your own, informal, doesn't have to be a super formal thing, mastermind, it really has changed the trajectory of how I feel about my work and helped me to articulate my vision in the world, as well as kept me calm and emotionally stable in a really difficult year that we all had this year. So I want to say a big thank you to them. And of course, to our clients, to everyone who listens to this, to everyone who looks to us to help with your digital strategy, to help you do better in the world with your digital work, to help you sustain your courage through your sales and marketing systems. I want to thank you for your trust, and I want to thank you for being here on this journey with me. We've been in business now for 12 years, and it took a little while for us to grow up and figure out how this works for us. But this year, for the first time, I feel like we really have our feet underneath not just the revenue, not just what we do in the world, but what our impact will be over months, years, and decades. And that is an exciting thing to be seen come to life. And it couldn't happen without each and every one of you. So thank you so much for being with us on this journey to not just 50 episodes of the podcast, but 12 years of Genevieve Digital. So what comes next? Well, first of all, in 2021, you're going to hear a lot more about the Do Better Digital methodology, and we are going to be rolling out a whole new website to both help you understand what that is, how you can engage with it to do better digital in your own work, and lots of other cool stuff about that. We are really committed to how-tos on the nerdy work of the business in 2021. So if you feel like your team or you yourself needs help with how to do search engine marketing, search engine optimization, the DIY way, we are going to be giving you lots of free content in 2021 to help with that. Because y'all, I've got shit to say about this industry and how to do it right. And we are 1,000% committed to coming out of the shadows about that and showing up all over our spaces with that information, because I want you to kick ass in your work so we can make a better world. It has become abundantly clear to me in 2020 how important this idea that marketers make the world with the way that we message is, and how we must change the way that we message to do less harm and more good to be less fucking problematic and more kind, to be less white-centered and more liberatory-centered. And all of those things are going to be coming into our 2021. And we're going to grapple with some big questions that I don't know the answers to yet about how we make this work more equitable across class lines. Because me coming from a poor farm kid background to where I sit now, I think that this is a frontier that we still need to grapple with, that we've barely scratched the surface of when it comes to understanding how class intersects with all of this stuff in our work. And I'm going to be playing with that a lot and trying to figure some shit out and learning some shit about it in 2021. And you're also going to see more ways to engage with our work from where you are in 2021. We are going to be offering more pieces of Local Rockstar on demand, as well as some other on-demand trainings, possibly live, depending on how things go. We are offering a new thing, which is a digital strategy mentorship from our team that I'm pretty excited about, and you'll learn more about that in February. And we have 3 spots for strategy partnerships available in the first half of the year, which we've been talking about all month this month. If you'd like to apply for one of those spots, you can click on the link in the show notes and fill out the application. Thank you once again for celebrating this 50th anniversary. 50th anniversary. I'm only 37, y'all. 50th episode with us. I am so ridiculously silly excited that the 50th episode fell on the last day of 2020. It feels like beautiful synergy, and I am excited to see what y'all are doing in the new year, to show you what we've got planned. But for now, I'm going to go back to resting, and I hope you do too. I'll see everybody in 2021. Bye-bye.